Legs crossed, back straight, eyes closed. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Deep, long breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Feel that power of you controlling your breathing. That power that's available to you all the time, wherever you are in life. That power to reconnect to your greatest gift right now, your presence, your being. Your infinitely intelligent being. The same stuff we're all made of. And with that stuff that we're made of, we can control the most powerful supercomputer in the universe, your mind. But only you can do it. Only you can control your own mind. So let's do that right now, and let's see the future. Today, our time together, let's see ourselves doing the best we can on every single exercise and stretch. For this is not only the gym that we have available to us right now, in this space wherever we are, but it is also the gym of life, where we grow our minds all the time.
In the night I lie and look up at you. When the morning comes I watch you rise. There's a paradise they couldn't capture, that bright infinity inside your eyes.
매일 밤 내게 날아가 꿈 이룬 것도 잊은 채 나 웃으며 너를 만나. Never ending forever baby.
어둠이 내게 내 변했었지. 길어진 그림자 속에서. And you said that we can't be together because we come from different sides. You are my universe and I just want to put you first. You are my universe and you make my whole light up inside. My universe, my universe, my universe.
나를 밝혀주는 건 너란 사랑으로 수놓아진 별. 내 우주에 넌 다른 세상을 만들어주는 걸. 너는 내 별이자 나의 호주니까. 지금 이 시련도 결국엔 잠시니까. 너는 언제까지나 지금처럼 밝게만 빛나줘. 우리는 너를 따라 이긴 밤을 수놓고 너와 함께 날아가. When I'm without you I'm crazy. 자 어서 내 손을 잡아. We are made of each other baby. You are my universe and I just want to put you first. You are
Boyan prepara el centro, Boyan por abajo, ¡vamos! ¡Leo gol! ¡La pifió Piatov! Xavi puede abrir para...
Good morning, guys. You know, it's amazing. The way we think about something can change everything. One of the things I've learned in my life, and I hope this helps you, is the way I would think of the word obsession. That's another word that's thrown around, and often there's a negativity or a fear associated with it. There are two sides to it. To me, it is focused mind power. And to me, the greatest thing we can do is channel the positive aspect of it. So obsession is a positive focused mind power that you have an ability to do. If you have something you want to do and you believe in it and it's aligned with goodness and rightness for everyone, you need obsession. You need that mind power. My friend Eric Thomas says we should become obsessed with self-improvement. I love this. Imagine we all did that. Hope this helps everyone. Have a great day.
If you have ever seen me in the past, I'm usually like super, and I can't turn that off. But I do have a more subdued energy at the moment, and I think it's supposed to be like that today because the things I'm going to talk about are very close to your entire existence as a human here. And so I spent the flight home yesterday. I had about 5 hours on a flight straight shot back from Orlando to home, and I was thinking of you. Literally you. I was like, how do I make sure that what I create for you is going to hit you where it needs to, and that in the time that we spend together, that it lands in a way that helps benefit with everybody else giving all their insight. I want to hopefully bring some things ahead that are actionable steps. I do have a framework because I think in like process, but do realize like I'm here trying to actually find a way to make sure my heart connects to yours because you are listening, and wherever you're at in the world, this today is for you. Yes, you, not the group, just you. So it's weird, but it's okay. So today I'm going to talk about this concept of purpose. And for me, if you know my background, my story, purpose has been an interesting thing because I grew up in a space where I wasn't given a purpose or even had anybody at a young age tell me you can do X. In fact, I was given to a situation or a system that told me that you aren't worthwhile, even to your own mom. So when I got thrust into foster care, I didn't have that. And over the years, I had a really tough time developing it, trying to find out what I'm supposed to be or to do and how all that kind of unfolds. And what I've realized is for me, finding my purpose has been this lifelong thing. And it's definitely tied to who I am. Same as for you. And you've had multiple experiences that I could never touch, I could never connect to. But I do know that you've got some things going on. And so I want to have you walk through my life and my process through your own eyes. So I think that purpose is something that it's a gift. I don't think that it's something that everybody gets up front and like, hey, here's your purpose. It's kind of like this thing where we have to do some work to get that. Because if someone told you right now what you are here to do, you'd be like, oh, wow, thank you. That's amazing. Oh, I appreciate it. Now I know what to do, right? And that's a very interesting thing that I don't think that the world's going to give you. I think it's something that we have to unwrap through our time living on this planet, trials, commitments we choose to give to energy of certain things, courage you show up with, and sacrifice. There's a lot of things that have to be sacrificed. And so I looked at first the definition of what purpose means. And I was like, how does this feed my thought? It means the reason for which something is done or created or for which something exists. I go, man, it's kind of an interesting thing. Like if you think about the definition of purpose, I go, man, how can I unpack that? Because I think it's just this going thing. And what I've noticed is that when I look at my world of purpose, there is so much that can be done. It could even attest to this. Like there's a lot to get done on any given day that I could be giving my energy to, focusing on. Like I know this is going to be something that people probably can attest to because I wake up every day and go, I could do anything. But you can't do everything. And so as we look at this purpose thing, I want you to look at it like this. Metaphorically, years ago, somebody said, hey, when it comes to you seeking and finding your purpose, when we were kids, we had this amazing visual of what could be done, right? Most of us. I didn't have much, but a lot of people are given like, you could be an astronaut, you could be a teacher, and all this stuff is here. And as we get older, we start kind of going into the certain school, and then we have a certain group of friends, then we have a certain career we go to, and we get dialed and dialed and dialed to that career. And then after a while, all we see is this, is all we see. And we go, what's my purpose? And what I believe is our purpose exists out here still. if you weren't locked into it here. If you haven't trained your focus on that thing, it exists in this area outside of what you're seeing. So what you're going is, I can't see it. I don't know what it is. I don't know how to find it. And I go, yeah. Truth is, the thing that you're probably meant to do if you haven't found this just yet, it's down the road a few forks away. Now, I want you to write down FORKS. This is one of my frameworks we're going to talk through today, forks. I have noticed that I think finding your purpose is this process that it's like I'm going down the road and I'm going to go and there's going to be forks in the road, but it's always a matter of this is the process to expand my perspective to see what else is out there. Because I, in my life, have found this as what is the current purpose for my life. And I promise you, until 2014, I had no idea. I had no clue that this even existed as something you could do in the world. And so if I'd have been sitting around, imagine me at, all the years of my life, going, what am I here for? What am I here for? What am I here for? I'm going to tell you how I found this, how I landed in this thing that I love to do, that people seem to love that I do, which is a beautiful space to be in. And if you are experiencing this disconnect between the energy I'm giving to something and feeling filled up as I give it, because I think there's a process there when you can pour out, but it fills you up. There's a magical little space, what I think is called kind of like our purpose. It's the reason something exists. I'm doing this thing to get this, and it just all seems to move smooth. So let's talk about the 4 areas or 5 words, forks, right? So here's the first part of it, conceptually. I think that we go down these forks in a road, and we are met with this directional thing. If I can go here, 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 and I sit there and I go, but I don't know which way to go. Should I go be a teacher? Should I go be a coach? Should I start my own business? And then I was all these forks. And what we do is go, well, I don't want to go the wrong way. So let me just sit here and wait till it clarifies itself. And then we sit there for years. I'm just going to keep doing this because it pays the bills, and I'll dabble here. We never go down the fork in the road. And so we sit there and go, but I realize in my life, well, the best thing I can do is go down one, just go. And if I can make the first F, a full speed decision, full speed decision. What allows me to do is a couple things. One, I'm now moving, and there's so much in motion that is powerful to uncover things. We'll talk about that in a moment, but there's so much in motion. But if I can go, then what happens is 2 things. One, either it's the right path, great, we'll keep going. Or 2, I know it's the wrong one. I can go back to the beginning. And now, as opposed to 4, I got 3 choices. So the idea is F is we got to make a full speed decision. And this is where I think it's powerful to chase your passion in this manner. Because here's the thing, there are a lot of people who they don't have this question you have of how do I find my purpose? They're just not passionate about stuff except for their family and their kids. And then they'll do whatever they got to do, a regular job that they don't love because it allows them to be free to go home and have fun with their family and do their trips, right? And if they love that, great. But if you're a person that's like, I am passionate, well, you can't quell the passion. You got to chase it. And typically it's scary. I don't know what to do, if it's the right thing to go. But I tell people you have to go down the path of chasing the passion at first. Will it make sense to you? Absolutely not. The things that I have done and that you have probably done, people go, are you a crazy person? Do we need to admit you? Why in the world would you want to go talk about that or go do that thing or go create that thing? Most people look at us like we're crazy people, but it's a passion we have. And it doesn't make sense logically, but that's typically the full speed choice I tell people to make. And the idea is this. We typically don't want to make the full speed choice because we don't want to make the wrong choice. And what I tell people is you kind of have to trust your gut, and the gut's that passion. And write this down. You have to trust your gut until you trust your gut. Bear with me. I promise I'll make sense of this in a second. It's kind of like this refinement process. When I go out and chase something, I go and I trust the gut. That's what I'm going to do. I go do it. And then I go and go, that wasn't the greatest. I learned. I go back, and now my gut is more refined. Or I go chase the thing. It worked out. Great. I log it. Okay, great. That was a good. Why was it good? Okay, cool. I log it. And little by little, I'm refining my gut's ability to make a decision, which really, in my perspective, is like the conscious and subconscious talking. And then all of a sudden it comes up and goes, hey, I'm trying to tell you something. You've seen this book and read this thing, and there's something back here you don't know, but conscious, pay attention a little bit. And I go, my gut's saying something. Well, yeah, because it's been so many different paths I've taken and choices I've ran into to refine that thought process and really decision-making skill. So I start doing this little by little. And it takes me back to when I look at football. Those of you guys that don't play football or didn't play, any sport will do. I play defense. Defense is very trust your gut, but the gut doesn't really exist in this. What it looks like is, here's the play, Anthony. Read these things, react, trust the gut, and go. And I go. I do it. The plays hike. This takes place. I run full speed. Boom. I go back. Hey, Chuck's wrong choice. Oh, okay. And I watch the film on it. Okay, now I know it's the wrong choice. The same thing occurs again, I make a better choice. And I start doing this more and more and more. And after thousands of repetitions of taking a rep, good or bad, going, hey, why was it good? Why was it bad? It logs, it logs, it logs, to where now when I show up to game day, you show up to game day, you can almost flow into the day. It's like a reactionary, instinctual gut thing because I trusted the gut in that moment. I was told it was the wrong choice. Cool. Why was it wrong? Okay, log that back to the gut. Gut goes, okay, next play, do it again. And now what happens is little by little by little, by making full speed sprint decisions, I got better at making full speed sprint decisions. So I'm going to tell you, when it comes to this full speed decision, the first thing is to trust your gut. You're not going to die. It may be hard. You may get some difficult feedback. The world may say, hey, it wasn't a good product, didn't go well. Hey, someone might say, that wasn't the greatest, whatever it might be, but it's just feedback to refine the gut, which is that decision-making thing that just happens. And I need to trust it, right? And the more you do it, the better you get at it.
Leo, Leo que va a su interior, vamos, Leo, 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 ¡golazo del Barcelona!
Good morning, guys. Robert Kiyosaki today shares with us in his rule number 8 in Top 10 Rules for Success. Don't be afraid of losses. This is a huge one. This is one where we're conditioned. Growing up, going through school, going to different clubs, being in certain activities where success and failures are possibilities. We have been conditioned, I believe, as a society to be afraid of losses. And so one of the challenges we have to face, not only when it comes to how we are with our money, but the way we live and the choices that we make, we're gonna make mistakes. We have to change the way we look at that. We have to say to ourselves that those mistakes are steps in the right direction if we're willing to learn from it. We were all going to the same place, but we can last forever in terms of the energy and choices we made in our physical existence here. Have a great day, everybody.
You're not where you want to be, is you got to feed and strengthen your mind. But Jim Rohn was my original teacher, and he used to have this simple practice. He used to say, Tony, every day you got to stand guard at the door of your mind. He asked me a question, I remember early on, I was 17 years old.
Your worst enemy puts sugar in your coffee, what's going to happen?
I said, you're going to have sweet coffee. He goes,
What if your best friend or your parent or your lover by accident drops one drop of strychnine in your coffee, what's going to happen?
so you'd be dead. He goes, that's right. Life is both sugar and strychnine, so you better watch your coffee. Stand guard at the door of your mind. And the way he used to say that is every day, take 30 minutes of your day and read. Not the that comes to you today, not the clickbait, where you pick up a book and you read something that has philosophy or psychology or skill, where you are immersing yourself for 30 minutes in improving who you are.
He said, because if you do that every single day, it'll accumulate over the decades.
So you'll be at a point where you won't even believe all that you've experienced and lived.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and I make these videos because I need them. Because being around successful entrepreneurs who are pushing, who are driving, who are doing amazing things gives me that extra little motivational, inspirational boost in the morning every day to help me go off and accomplish great things too. And I hope that this video gives you that inspiration as well. So today, let's get some incredible motivation from the one and only Tony Robbins. Enjoy.
I think the most important habit to start with is having something that you care about more than yourself. A mission. It could be your family. It could be photography. It could be your business. It could be, something you want to do in your community. It could be humanity. But I don't mean virtue signaling. I mean, what you're really driven by. And when people have something that they care about more than themselves, they don't run out of energy. They don't run out of excitement because, if it's just about you, it's easy to get comfortable. And comfort makes you not grow. People ask me all the time, Tony, you meet millions of people. What's the secret to happiness? And I always laugh and say, it's pretty simple. It's one word, progress. Progress equals happiness. Because if you're not making progress, you're not growing. And there's only a few rules in the universe. They're not mine. They're the universe. Everything grows or dies. And everything contributes beyond itself, or it's eventually eliminated by evolution. And so, for me, growing and giving is the game. And so you got to find something that makes you want to keep growing and giving so you don't get comfortable. You can't sit at the table of success too long or you get fat and bored, right? So we need to feel alive. A lot of people achieve a goal and then their brain goes, is this all there is? Or even if you achieved a goal you loved, it's like you loved it. How long did you stay excited about whatever you succeeded at? You may have worked on it for years. Did you stay excited for a year? Almost never. 9 months, 6 months, 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days, 3 hours, because you're not supposed to stay just satisfied because our nature is to grow, and when we grow, we have something to give. So to me, that's the core. People get vested in their trauma. People get vested in their pain. If you want to know the largest drug on the planet, it's not cocaine. It's not heroin. It's not pot. It's not, some prescription drug. The biggest, drug on the planet is problems. Because everyone has a deep fear, everyone. And the deepest fears we have are two. One is that we're not enough. We're not smart enough, young enough, rich enough, pretty enough, funny enough, something enough. And if we're not enough, it's the deepest fear we have, which is we won't be loved. And love is the oxygen of the soul. So, a baby if they're not physically, kinesthetically loved, they develop what's called failure to thrive syndrome. That's how desperate our nervous system is for love. So human beings, when they think, oh my God, if I fail at this, it'll look like I'm not enough and I won't be worthy of love, they tend to come up with a reason why that's either not their fault, it's something that was done to me. I've got ADHD, I was born with it, I was raped, I was whatever. And they might even tell the truth. Someone may have really raped them. It's a horrible situation. But other people have raped and they've gotten through it and they're on the other side of it. This person hasn't because it becomes their reason for not being where they want to be in their life. And so the bottom line is a mother can lose her daughter or son through a drunk driver and spend the rest of their life in pain. And another one creates MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Drivers, and does something about it and feels a sense of freedom and a sense of serving that child and a sense of higher purpose in what they're doing. So it's not the problem. It's not the trauma. It's finding what they value more than the problem. And everyone has a place where there's something they value more than their trauma. Some people gather trauma because they realize I've been so traumatized, the loss of this child, that my other child feels completely unloved. And they realize I'm losing that love. I'm losing that child if I don't get my shit together, right? They need a higher level of what's called leverage. Leverage is what makes change a must, not a should. As long as it's a should, you'll have your story. And your story could be a true story, and you'll tell your story and share your story with yourself or other people or both, and you stay stuck. But trauma is, it is not, it's a bruise. It's not a tattoo, right? Any bruise can be healed, but not unless you're vested in healing it. And what a lot of people do, I remember when I was diagnosed with a tumor in my brain, I've seen this happen so much that I didn't tell anyone. I didn't even tell my spouse at the time the first day. I was trying to process it because I didn't want people to start treating me differently. And so the only person who knew for the first day or two was my assistant because she had talked to the doctor. So before I'd even been able to tell my spouse at the time, all of a sudden, everyone treated me like I was indestructible. I taught people to do that. It's like, because I want to help everybody. So there was no. It's like, I'll do whatever it takes, right? So it was inhuman at the time. And suddenly my assistant starts saying, we shouldn't book that right now. And we shouldn't do this right now. And I started getting love and attention and connection for having this problem. And I was like, whoa. I'm not going to go down that slippery slope. But that takes a really conscious mind to do it. And lucky for me, I've had a chance to deal with millions of people. So I see these patterns all the time. But most people, their problem is their drug. It's the drug against the fear that I'm not enough and I won't be loved. Even if they go, no, it's me, I'm so messed up. What they're really saying is reassure me, love me. They're wanting that connection through their problem. So you got to decide there's something you value more than your problem. When you decide that, you can make it happen. My original teacher was Jim Rohn when I met him when I was 17. And I wanted to know why all my fathers were broke, because they were good men. I loved all four of my fathers. And I remember him saying, Tony, we're all equal as souls, but we're not equal in the marketplace. I was like, what does that mean? And he said, well, think about it. He goes, you need to become more valuable if you want to have economic freedom. He said, you have to work on yourself more than anything else, and you have to work on it in a way where there's something you can do for others better than anyone else, or at least more, at better quality. And he gave me an example of like working at McDonald's. And he said, if you work at McDonald's, you make whatever it was in those days, $5 an hour, whatever it was. And he said, I go, yeah, but that seems so unfair. And he goes, yeah, and teachers, I gave the example of teachers, and there's these billionaires, that make $1 billion a year, hedge fund guy, And he said, Tony, the guy you just mentioned, he provided a 40% return last year. And that went to nonprofits, everything else. He said, that means those organizations double their money almost every 2 years. He is adding massive value, hundreds of $1 billion, they made $1 billion. He goes, this person is doing a job that anyone can learn in 20 minutes or half a day. So it's a beginning job. He said, you got to think of it as one thing. It's all about adding value. How can you do more for others than anybody else in the world? And that stuck with me. I mean, I was just like, I decided I wanted to do more for others than anybody in the world. In order to do that, I had to have certain skills, and I went after those skills, and I still do. Like, it's a never ending thing. If you think you're a master, you're full of it, right? Yeah. So I think that's probably some of the best advice I've received, at least on life and business and direction, and it affected my mission.
Also, to make sure you're actually taking action after watching this video, I've designed a special free worksheet just for this video. The worksheet will highlight all of the lessons learned in this video, as well as pull out our 3 favorite learnings and quotes that will inspire you to actually do something. The worksheet will also give you space to write down what your key takeaways are and your specific plan of action to make sure you're getting results. If you want the worksheet designed specifically for this video, absolutely for free, there's a link in the description below. Go click on it and start building the momentum in your life and your business. I'll see you there.
The difference between making it or not is psychology and skill.
This is It's like I'm living a dream, but it's how everyone feels. We all unite with one feel. So let's wave our hands. We can sing, we can dance. We are strong, hold on tight. From afar we unite. Ah yeah, ah yeah, here we go, ah yeah. This is the time of our lives. Ah yeah, ah yeah, here we go, ah yeah. This is the time of our. This is the time of our. Ah yeah, ah yeah, here we go, ah yeah. This is the time of our lives. Ah yeah, ah yeah, here we go, ah yeah. This is the time of our lives. I love this moment right now. No one can take it away. So let it happen and how. It's why I cherish each day. So let's wave our hands. We can sing, we can dance. We are strong, hold on tight. From afar we unite.
Here we go.
Ah yeah, ah yeah, here we go, ah yeah. This is the time of our lives. Ah yeah, ah yeah, here we go, ah yeah. This is the time of our lives. Ah yeah, ah yeah, here we go, ah yeah. This is the time of our lives. Ah yeah, ah yeah, here we go, ah yeah. This is the time of our lives. What we see, destiny. Realize now we all know the greatest. Ah yeah, ah yeah, here we go, ah yeah. This is the time of our lives. Ah yeah, here we go, ah yeah. This is the time of our.
Oh, and it's in.
Good morning, guys. All right, I got a funny story to share with you today. This one is fresh from last night and being with my family. I got to give my younger daughter credit for this one. I deserve this one, but it's funny and I can laugh at it now. So you guys know I'm obsessed with the power of the human mind. I come from a good place. I'm trying to help as many people as possible. And on being on this road to infinite mind wealth, I got to take some of my own medicine. So last night, my daughters were in a conversation. There was a bit of an argument, and I have a tendency to try to mediate, to try to come in and try to help and try to fix things right away. And my daughter last night humbled me, and I deserved it. She said, "Daddy, stop it. You know, you're being annoying." And I thought to myself, she's right. I was being annoying. And so I have to constantly work on this, but it made me laugh, just the way she said it. And thank you. Thank you, sweetie. Daddy's got to learn too. Have a great day, everybody.
We all want to wake up and feel like what we do matters. If you woke up and you felt every day that you don't matter to somebody else, that the work you do is meaningless, it doesn't matter, that's the path down to anxiety, stress, depression, suicides, where a lot of people wake up and feel like just today's doesn't matter. Nobody cares if I show up or not. But on the other hand, if you felt like today's going to matter, today it'll mean something. I'm going to make something. I'm going to show up for somebody. It's going to touch maybe not a million lives, but but like one person's life. If you're going to show up and you're going to take your mom to brunch and it's going to touch her life. And so we all want to feel like the work that we do matters. People will love helping the most are the people who currently are who we used to be. So when I said your purpose comes from your pain, whatever you struggled through that made you feel like the biggest loser of all time is now what you want to help other people through, because there's lots of people right now who feel like that loser, and they'll learn from you in a way that they won't learn from me or Eddie or Oprah or somebody else, because you have a different story.
Need motivation?
Watch a top 10 with Believe in Nation.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and I make these videos because I need them, because I want to wake up every single day and get pushed by somebody who's doing a lot more than me. And in watching their videos, it inspires me to be bolder, to have more courage, and to go chase down the life of my dreams. And I hope it does the same for you. So today, let's learn from me and my team's take on my top 10 rules of success. Enjoy.
Helping and serving is hardwired into our brains. You know, it's the same. They did functional MRIs on people's brains and found the same part of the brain lights up when you're serving or helping as when you're having food and having sex. So it's like we crave the desire to want to help people. But there's a difference between just helping somebody cross the street or holding the door for somebody or buying the coffee, like these little acts of kindness, versus when you see somebody who's like you and you help them overcome something that then years later, like when Eddie says, 5 years ago, I don't know, when I talked to you, I haven't picked up the phone and called me, and how much of a difference it made, right? That's the stuff that makes me feel, I don't remember talking to Eddie.
Yeah. I'll show you the email, you'll get a kick out of it.
That conversation.
I stalked you?
Yeah. I mean, I remember you outside the bathroom, so I don't know. But like that, those are the kind of things that feel really good. It makes me want to keep doing it, right? That Eddie said, hey, you took a chance on me and gave me half an hour of your time or however long we talked when I was just getting started. I mean, I do that for a ton of people who also don't go anywhere, right? So it's not like, it's great to have a success story, but not everybody turns out to be an Eddie as well. But that becomes proof that I should keep doing it. It makes me feel good, right? You stopping me outside the bathroom leading to this, we have a good conversation. It makes me want to say yes to the next guy. If it's a total, like a disaster and the building's locked and his microphone's not set up and it's like, oh, well, maybe I don't say yes to the next guy. I don't know, right? But we all want to feel like the work we do matters as important to people. And every time we feel that, it does so much more for our soul than just holding the door for somebody or doing a random act of kindness.
Rule number 2 is stop comparing yourself to others.
As a creator, we often tend to kind of compare ourselves to others and lose the focus of the people who are already here, who are already following us and enjoying the stuff we have, showing love. And we try to kind of focus on the stuff we don't have. So that one really resonated.
This is one of the things that helped me back the most, because my biggest fear is disappointing people. My biggest fear is that I'm gonna get on stage or I'm gonna come to an interview and I'm gonna let you down, and I'm not gonna have an answer, and I'm not gonna know what to say, and I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste the audience's time, and that used to hold me back a lot from keeping the momentum going. I might start one thing and then there's an opportunity and then say no or cancel or back out or hope they would cancel on me because I would be afraid that I would disappoint people. So the thing that always saved me, that I still use today, is focus on who you are serving. Focus on who you are serving instead of who you aren't. We, in the comparison game of starting a YouTube channel or starting an Instagram account or getting on TikTok, it's always easy to look at, but look at whoever. Look at the number one, look at what Joe Rogan's doing, or look at what Evan Carmichael's doing, or look at what whoever else is doing. And the game of who you're not never ends. There's always somebody who's better than you at something, right? The only thing that you're best in the world at is being Timo, right? The only thing I'm best in the world is being Evan Carmichael. And there's always people who are better than me at all these other skill sets that I want to learn and get better at. And that's great, because we never want to stop learning. You never want to have it all figured out. We want to be able to climb forever. But if you're only living in the world of I'm not enough and who you're comparing yourself to, I think that's what will often lead to burnout. That's what will lead to people quitting. That's what will lead to people killing their momentum, as opposed to saying, I am helping people, right? Focus on who you are serving instead of who you're not. So in my first video on YouTube, had 3 comments on it in a year. And one was my mom, and one was my sister, and then one was some random guy. You know, it was like, so in a year of my first video going up, when people were like, I didn't get any comment. Man, my first video for a year only had 1 comment by some random guy who I didn't know. And I saw that and like, hey, somebody commented on my video. This is great. And so if you can focus on people, you know, they post something on Instagram and they have 40 views on their video and you say, oh, I'm such a failure. Only 40 people saw this video. Well, imagine if you were going to go speak at a library or a school event or something, like 40 people showed up. Wouldn't you be excited? Wouldn't you be nervous? Wouldn't you be like, oh my God, there's 40 people here? How am I going to see me? But because it's online, we feel like we're just a failure because somebody else posted one and they got 40,000 and you're sitting here with 40. And so I always just focused on who I was serving, those 40 people. Like 40 people watched this video. And maybe for one of those people, that this was a life-changing video. That for one person, the thing that I said was the piece of advice that they needed to move the needle forward in their life. And that always gave me more fulfillment, more happiness, more positivity, knowing that I am helping some people and that I can continue to help more. And when you start doing the work to help and focus on those 40, they take you to the 40,000. Like if you do a great job nurturing your community, then they take you to their friends and their friends and their friends, and that's how you build up and grow. So yeah, I think the comparison game can often hold us back. There's some advanced strategies around that can work, but when you focus on who you are serving instead of who you're not, I think it leads to a lot more happiness, which leads to a lot more momentum as well.
Rule number 3 is serve people.
And here we are again. Back to where it all begins. Where it all begins and never ends. That source, that oneness, that consciousness, that awareness. That we know is in all of us. That power to determine, to control our minds. You see, nobody else, nothing else in this universe can do what you do every day. In the gym of life. Only you, human being, only you, infinitely intelligent being, can do the ultimate. Only you can control your mind, your thoughts, and therefore your feelings. But it takes a lot of hard work. It takes, first of all, believing that you can do it. If you don't believe in yourself, your mind health, your chance at mind wealth is not possible. But that's not the way it was meant to be. You were born to win. Control over your mind, your thoughts, to have and be all you were meant to be. And that means believing 100% in who you really are. And that is the key to your mind health and your mind wealth, your happiness, your freedom, your success, your infinite peace and love towards everything and anything. It's possible. It's all because of you, your determination. You united with all of our determination, creates that oneness, that consciousness. Determination.